welcome to another edition of Ask the Chiropractor. My name is Dr. Brad Halsebus, and I'm a chiropractor. I'm a proud member of the International Chiropractic Association, the Illinois Prairie State Chiropractic Association, proud alumni of Palmer College of Chiropractic, and I serve as a team chiropractor for the Rockford Ice Hawks, the AHL affiliate of the Chicago Blackhawks. And Ask the Chiropractor is my little podcast that I do for when people have questions about chiropractic or chiropractic care. I come on and I try to answer your question. I try to do it in a way that you would want to answer from a chiropractor. So if you had a question about chiropractic care, you should ask a chiropractor, not a physical therapist, a massage therapist, or a medical doctor, because one simple reason: they're not chiropractors. They didn't go to chiropractic college. They have no idea what chiropractors do. When I sit down with different athletics and different doctors I work with over the years, I find out for the most part they really don't know what I do. They have an idea what I do, but they really don't know. And so it's wrong for them to come off as an expert on what I do when they really don't even know what it is that I do. And I find even like when you ask some doctors questions about supplementations, if they don't know the answer, they usually just say, no, don't do it. Now that's a little bit of a gross statement there, but I just find it's always better to find an expert in the field and ask them the question. By no means am I saying I'm the expert in chiropractic, but that's the one thing that I do know. So people have a question about chiropractic or chiropractic care and how it works, they ask me, I do a little podcast and I share you the question in case you also have this question. So a lot of people are asking me, it's fall time now, the temperatures just did a quick drop, and people are asking me about their immune system and how to keep an immune system strong. So this became a really, really touchy subject, something that we would talk about all the time. And then COVID came a couple of years ago, and now the government has come after chiropractors left and right. Friends of mine have had their practices shut down for talking about this topic. So I'm going to give the best answer to this question the best way I can, try to keep it scientific, keep it exact. And the bottom line is, can chiropractic affect your immune system? My official answer is necessary pause. So I'm not going to answer that question because I have an answer, but I'm not allowed to answer that question. So I'm just not going to answer. So my official answer is no answer. But let's talk some science in the immune system. So the first thing is, what we know about the immune system is that if you're in fight or flight or sympathetic tone or stress, your immune system is compromised. We know this through we've had this in guidance physiology. This is nothing new or exciting news. This is something we've always known, that if your body's in stress, because genetically speaking, we are hunters and gatherers. We're designed to be walking the earth, picking fruits and berries and vegetables, killing small animals and eating them, and avoiding large animals that eat from us. So that's our genetic code. That's what we're genetically designed to do. And we know the further we live different from our genetic code, the sicker and the more health problems we create. So as chiropractors, and myself being a CCWP, a certified chiropractic wellness practitioner, what we did is we studied hunter and gatherer tribes, and we looked at the chemical, physical, and emotional stress that people are under, and how that influences their overall health and well-being, both in a chiropractic sense, in a nutrition sense, in a movement sense, and lastly, and not lastly, but a mental sense, and how that affects your overall health. And what we do know is that when chiropractic adjustments happen, there are changes in the sympathetic and the opposite, the parasympathetic, when we're not in fight and flight. And Oguria studied this. Now I'm going to spell this for you because the people do my captioning always mess this up. So I'm going to spell it for them and for you. Ogura. Ogura is a chiropractic scientist that does a lot of research. And what Oguria found out was really simple, is they've been able to mark the changes in the sympathetic and parasympathetic response before and after chiropractic adjustments. What does that mean? Well, there's trademark sensors when we're in fight and flight. Some of them have been in our salivatory amylase, and other things that we do are non-scientific terms, your spit. They've been able to figure out that there's changes in the chemical makeups and how our body performs when it's in fight and flight versus when it's not in fight and flight. And Oguri has done research on PubMed. Those of you who don't remember PubMed, that's where I go to do all my research. These articles, before they're indexed with PubMed, undergo intense scrutiny to make sure they are what they say they are. So you go to PubMed, you type in Oguria, and you can see some of the research that Dr. Oguria has done on the sympathetic, parasympathetic tone and how chiropractic adjustments tracers have been shown to change the sympathetic and parasympathetic from sympathetic to parasympathetic pre and post care. So we know that when you're in fight and flight, your immune system's compromised. We got that in all kinds of textbooks, guidance physiology, which is like the book that every healthcare provider uses to study, whether it's MD, DO, DC, MDM, DDS, whatever. We all use that guidance physiology, just like we all use Gray's Anatomy. I'm sure you've heard of that because there's a cute TV show named after it. But we all use the same book called Guidance Physiology. Guidance Physiology has basically told us when you're in fight and flight, no immune response. Then Dr. Ogura, O-G-U-R-A, for those of you at Rev and other people taking notes, on PubMed you can see that the doctor here has done research showing that before chiropractic care, if people are in sympathetic tone or fight and flight reaction, they get their chiropractic care, several of the tracers that were marked that you be in sympathetic tone or fight and flight disappear or go away after chiropractic care. So now we've got the research that shows us fight and flight, immune system's no good. Chiropractic care before, if you're in fight and flight, you get a chiropractic care that you can leave elements of fight and flight. And then when you're not in fight and flight, when you're at ease or homeostasis, not in the reaction mode of fight and flight, we know the immune system levels go up. How do we know that? Blood tests, real easy. White blood cells, more white blood cells, better your immune system. Faster changing. So this is why a lot of people, when they don't feel well, or they're starting to feel run down or feel like they got something coming on, will go see a chiropractor. Now, am I saying that they should come get adjusted because you won't catch the cold or the flu? No. Am I saying you should come get adjusted because chiropractic can help boost your immune system and make your immune system function better? No. What I'm saying is that when people get adjusted, the research has shown they leave the fight and flight and go back into normal tone, and people in normal tone, according to all the textbooks that we use to study before and after COVID, that it actually helps your immune system tremendously not to be in fight and flight. And so chiropractic adjustments, according to the studies, have shown to move you from one to the other. This is why a lot of times after somebody gets a chiropractic adjustment, they might start sleeping better. They might feel more relaxed. They might get, their digestion might change. These are all things that do with fight and flight, with a sympathetic response to a danger. So, a lot of times in this time of the year, in the fall, we have a lot of people come in for a couple of extra visits because they feel like they just feel better when they go. They just feel better. I don't feel as run down, I don't feel sick. So with that being said, that's what we see. Now today, I just got back from traveling, and while I was traveling, I saw lots of people still wearing masks, lots of people still wiping surfaces down. And some people have compromised immune systems, and they have to do these things. But what we know too, and we even learned this with COVID, I think I can say this, that I'll just say what natural acquired immunity is. Okay, I won't say it's better or worse or anything else. I'll just say what it is. Natural acquired immunity is when I'm exposed to something, my body makes antibodies and antigens, and then my body's now prepared should I seek that again. So if I walk around with a mask on all the time, I don't get exposed to stuff. Now again, if you have a compromised immune system or you're going through a healthcare crisis, none of what I'm talking about applies to you. That's a whole different set of rules. But if you don't have a compromised immune system, and your immune system never gets exposed to nothing, you stay home, you avoid people, you work from home, you don't get around, you don't get to practice as much as other people. And if your white blood cell production is not as well as it could be because you're in fight and flight, you also kind of leave yourself vulnerable. So as chiropractors, for myself, the care I do this time of year is, one, I don't wear a mask. I don't worry about hiding from everything. I want to get mild exposures to everything so my body makes those antigens and prepares me for it when it comes at me big time. I also do get my spine checked regularly because I don't want to be in a state of sympathetic should the flu bug arrive at my house. I want to be able to get my fly swatter out and kill that flu bug. I want to be prepared for it. So I do like to get little micro exposures to everything. That's why I enjoy seeing so many patients a day, because every patient that comes in brings a little potpourri of germs and other things that my immune system gets to practice on. And because we're not hanging out a long time and spending tons of time together, I don't get a massive dose of anything. I get little micro doses of everything. So when I walk to the grocery store, you'll never see me have a mask on unless there's a law requiring me to have a mask on. I want to get hit by everything so my immune system continues to function. Why am I confident my immune system is going to function good? Because I'm not in a state of fight and flight, because Dr. Hayes or Dr. Dace here got me adjusted and I'm ready to go out in public. That's my theory. That's how I choose to live. Am I telling you if you get chiropractic adjustments and run around without stuff on you forever good? No, I'm just telling you what I do, what I choose to do. I'm sharing you my information, how I choose to do it. So, How does chiropractic affect the immune system? Well, we're waiting for more advanced testing equipment, more advanced testing stuff, because the way we want to test it, there's no way to physically test what we're talking about. But what do we know? We know for a fact, according to Guidance Physiology, G-Y-T-O-N-S, Guidance Physiology, that this is how the body functions and works. We know that when you're not in fight and flight, your immune system has a better chance. What else do we know? Ogura, O-G-U-R-A, has done the research that shows that before chiropractic care, if you're in fight and flight, and after chiropractic care, you'll remove yourself from fight and flight and go the other direction, the more we call parasympathetic, and you'll be more ready to fight stuff because your body won't be thinking it's under attack. It'll be ready for the white blood. It'll be ready to make the white blood cells it needs to adapt to the germs and your environment around you. So as chiropractors, do we see a lot of people that come in because they don't feel very well and they have their sinuses are getting backing them up and they feel like they're congested, they feel like they might be coming down with something, they come in and say, hey, I want an adjustment, I think it'll help me get over this faster. We see it all the time. Do we have a commercial that says that? No. What we do know is that when I'm out in public with you and you bump into someone you know and you say, is he your chiropractor? They say yes. Why do you go? The most common answer I hear all the time, I just feel better when I go. So there you have it. Does chiropractic affect the immune system? That's my official no answer. But I'll explain to you a little bit how the body works, how chiropractic adjustments work, and you can do your own math. All right, I'm Dr. Brent Halsey, chiropractor. If you want more information, check me out at rockforddc.com. That's ROCKFORDDC.com. And you can find more information on the immune system and how the body functions and works there. And if you have a question for me, you can find all my information there. Or if you have a question you'd like to have on the show, go ahead and hit us up right there and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. All right, everybody, stay healthy, stay safe. We'll see you real soon.